What up, y'all? All right, so today, man, I might go a little hard today. I wanted to talk to you about a few things, but also I wanted to get at something, man. It's like, it's kind of been on my heart, but you know, y'all are special, and I don't think you realize this, and sometimes I haven't even realized it, but it kind of was like, it's been hitting me lately. And so I always try to tell you everything that's on my heart, my mind, but I think that the empath has, in this world system, man, we have allowed for them to beat us down so far that, you know, just for us to have a regular life is to ask too much. Okay? When God said he made you to be the head and not the tail, it's not to be walking around like these stupid pastors you see on TV. You're not supposed to be like that. That's not what the gospel's about, okay? That's wolves, okay? And I hope not offend anybody, and if I am, I don't care. Because y'all should know better. You shouldn't be having 24-karat gold lined suit, man, and trying to preach the gospel about feeding the poor and helping folks out. Anything we got in it. Okay, But, you know, there's so many things that the narcissist does to the empath, and that, you know, we have allowed ourselves to take the back seat on everything. And, you know, and to just take the morsel, it talks, you know, it's kind of like the morsel of bread that we can get the crumbs from the table or something, from the king's table or something, you know. We were made to sit with the king. And sometimes I got to get that through my head. I'm preaching to myself first. So don't ever think that when I'm yelling and screaming on here that I mean it just to y'all. I mean, I always preach to myself first. The message is for me first before it's ever to you. Okay. And so that's how I live my pure heart, my truth on this channel. Okay. So don't ever get it twisted, but I'm trying to build y'all up today, because there's times where, you know, I sort through some things in my empathy and what God has shown me. And, you know, at some point in time, man, listen, the best defense is a good offense sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you need to argue and fight with the narcissist. That's never a good idea. But what I am saying is sometimes you need to go out there and you need to work hard and get that cheddar, man. You know, work them extra shifts. Go work on getting that, you know, that, work hard, man. Like, grind, man. That's what the channel says on the front page. Grind now and shine later, man. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, a lot of people always ask, you know, how can I get over the narcissist? And I've been there, okay? But, you know, I'm getting over that hump now, man, and I'm kind of excited today. I'm excited because my life is going in such a better direction, and I want y'all to understand that too. That, you know, you need to start perceiving things with a greater vision, and you need to stop telling people about that vision, because a lot of people, you need to vet people. And, you know, there's this song out called No New Friends, man, and there's some truth to it, okay? Because, you know, I have, and you guys on this channel probably know enough by now to where you should be able to find like the red flags of a love partner after all the stuff we've been through. And we continue to talk about it. I still continue to talk about it, but I'm just saying, like, by now, if you've watched all of my stuff or all of the people's stuff out there on all these channels about love partner, that should be easy. Okay? That should be easy. If you're a woke empath, man, and you're a chosen one, that should be easy for you to pick up on. Okay, and a lot of times, man, where we really got seduced is because we really like this individual. We like the idea of this individual so much that we had to have them. Okay, so let's just be honest. We kind of allowed ourselves to walk into this, because if this was somebody else who was ugly and we didn't necessarily like the idea of them so much, we probably wouldn't have let them take us for a ride. Now, that may not speak to all of y'all, but it speaks to some of y'all. It speaks to me. And all I can do is speak my truth, okay? And I'm not the only one that said this. Some high-profile narcissistic therapists and people have talked on this. Okay, so I'm not getting this wrong. My point is you need to learn and know your value. And if you don't know your value, and if you don't love yourself and you don't have good boundaries, the boundaries are for everybody. Whether you love somebody and you love the idea of somebody or not. If they don't treat you right today, it's going to be worse tomorrow. It never gets better. And that person will never be right for you. If they get fixed, they'll get fixed on their own a long time after you. But if they have abused you, they will continue to abuse you even if they get better. And you get back with them, now or later. So it's over. At some point in time, man, when I meant a good offense is, a good defense is a hell of a good offense, okay? If you're on the offense, you ain't worried about defense because you're destroying the enemy. And I'm not talking about my point is if you want to destroy the narcissist and you want to live a good, wholesome, healthy life with good vision, then learn to build boundaries. Forget about this narcissist. You have to continue. When they come into your head, you put them down. You know, it talks about in the Bible, you got to cast this stuff down continually. It's a spiritual warfare. You dealt with it in the physical form, and now you have to deal with the repercussions of it in the spirit. And part of it is because we allowed ourselves to go down this road with these people. And I know there was seduction. I know we grew up in these families. I know we were groomed for this. But we also had inklings that this was wrong. And if we were living a better life, according to the Bible, we wouldn't have gotten in these situations probably. We wouldn't have. But because we have, it's nothing to shun yourself for. I did it too. I did it probably worse and more than you guys. Okay? I'm in my late 40s, so I mean, you know, I've had a lot of relationships, some good, some bad, but I mean, and you know, I've had a lot of narcissists. So, and I've been letting myself be seduced for a long time before I woke up to this, okay? And you know, my point is you need to grind every day. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not, whether you have the energy and the faith or not, this is when you double grind. You do it. You Nike that shit, man. You got to get up and just push when you can't even get up. And you will do more in that time where you don't think you can do than when you're free from all this later on down the road. If you even look in the biblical narrative of things, anytime that God's people were were dealing with being in captivity, struggling for hundreds of years, and being under the cloak and the bondage of the enemy, that's when they were most fervent. It's after they got all the riches, man, and they got out there and got comfortable, did they forget about God, or did they forget about working hard and grinding every day? I mean, part of, if you want, listen, the narcissist is the enemy. The narcissist is Satan's son, Satan's daughter, y'all. If you want to defeat the narcissist, man, and you need to keep your vision close. You need to build good boundaries. You need to word up, and you need to get spiritually minded. And anytime that stuff gets in your mind, you got to cast it down. And you got to stop talking to these people, man. You know they're bad. You know they're with the enemy. You know what the enemy looks like. He's in scripture and he's in front of your face too. I gotta be hard, y'all, because I mean, the title to this channel is Soldier Up, because it's time to soldier up, y'all. And I don't think that I don't think it's gonna be good for you to be sitting there, you know, thinking about, you know, like if we're all, you know, a lot of these channels want to talk about, you know, they're playing off your emotions, man. And it's weak. And, you know, you could like me for doing this today or not. You could hate me for going hard on you. But, man, it's kind of like in church, man. There's time for teaching where it's nice and calm. And there's also time for, like, preaching and you know, the pastor be spitting and stuff and telling you about the fiery depths of hell, man. Well, I'm kind of doing that today, man, because it's like I get tired of, like, this calm, this fawning empath that's shaken with anxiety, and they don't have a vision and they don't know what to do. Man, damn it. Stand up, y'all. I don't know. I hear that a lot, man. And I'm not saying necessarily on the channel, just out and about, man. And it's like, if you knew the position that God has put you in, man. He put, you know, they always talk about kings and queens, those fools, the narcissists, right? And really, you're the one that's been ordained to be the king and the queen. But don't get it twisted. We are empaths, man, and for us to operate in those places, man, we would do it with humility, yes, but you got to have some sort of firmness and boldness at times, and you got to have strength, man, and long suffering at times. You have to be a soldier all the time on this earth. You are halfway in hell on earth, okay? Sometimes you can have pieces of your life that feel a little bit like heaven. But you know, there's a lot of pieces of your life that feel a lot like hell here. This is where the war is taking place, y'all, right here. Earth. Heaven is halfway above and hell is halfway below. You're in the middle, y'all. The angelic can come down and the demonic can come up, man. This is it. This is ground zero for the war. This is the prison planet for a time, y'all. And if you're going to grind and if you're going to do something well and do something good, I'm saying sometimes you need to get some of the tactics that the narcissist's been using on you and start to use them yourself, man. So many times we're looking at defenses. How can we learn from the narcissist and you know, like, and defend ourselves from them? Well, how about you take some of their offenses and come off on the offensive, man? Not to even talk with them. Don't even bother with them. It's useless. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about to plan, plot, and strategize, y'all. Work hard. Grind out, man. Get that second income, man, and double up, man. You know, help people, you know, build up your own wealth. Get you a Benz. Part of getting the narcissist back is looking good, y'all. I mean, what are you going to do? Roll up with them? Roll up next to them in a hoopty while they're in a Benz? Come on, man. You have to quit being devalued by these fools, and you need to get away from them because they will destroy you and they will destroy your finances. They will destroy your looks. They will destroy your health, your wealth, your being with God, everything. You have a light. They came to you to put it out. What don't you understand? Light cannot be with darkness. That's why hell is up above and heaven is up above and hell is down below, and it's separated by such a distance. They have two kingdoms that are so far different from each other that they chose to live in different places because they can't abide with one another. It's impossible. And in the spirit realm, that's why there is a heaven way above and a hell way down below. And where's the creator? He's in heaven, y'all. Why? Because even the creator can't be around that crap. Being an empath's a great thing, man. But don't be such a wimp, man. Sometimes you need to stand the hell up, man. And tighten your bootstraps up and dig the hell in. Work hard, don't give your money away. And in my humble opinion, we're in the short season, man. So I don't know. You know, if you go to my channel, Revelation End 505, my other channel where I talk about some conspiracies and things, the millennial kingdom, man, if you're a Bible believer, it's been past. We were reset, man, and we're in the short season. And the whole church and the whole world's been deceived. There's a lot of people that know about this, and there's a lot of people that don't. And it is worldwide, all over the place, the evidence. And if you don't give it a chance, it says in the Bible, if you don't look into a matter before you judge the matter, then you're an idiot. So go to my channel, Revelation End 505, if you're a Bible believer. And if you're not, you still should probably look at it too, because it's reality. And I did videos explaining and proof of that you are not waiting on the tribulation, man. This stuff came a long time ago. When Christ said he was coming back, he came back in 70 AD. Nero was the Antichrist. They added 1,000 years to the calendar, and all this Greco-Roman Gothic cathedral stuff is all millennial kingdom leftover, y'all. There was a mud flood. That's why you have a lot of those Greco-Roman buildings, there's windows going into the ground. Anyway, totally different subject. But my point is this is all biblical, first of all, and there's proof of that, and there's proof. Nobody would know they're in the short season, okay? Nobody. If they did, they wouldn't need faith to believe in Christ. And they had technology in the Bible, and they had technology 2,000 years ago. It got burnt up in the fervent heat of the tribulation in 70 AD. There was an I and a J that stood for Christ, Anno Domini, that when he took over. There was an I 100, I 200, J 200, J 300. That's what they used to mark the years. And at some point they changed the I and the J to a 1 to cover up the millennial kingdom. It's all been covered up, and God allowed this. And it says in the Bible that Satan would change time and times. We were reset in 1812. And that's when the short season started. And everything before that to 70 AD has been a hoax, okay? Our maps have changed. You just don't know it. California was an island in the 1700s. There was no ice and snow on all the maps for 1,000 years. Okay? Believe it or not, I don't care. I've spent years on this. And a lot of people don't know about this, and a lot of people do. And this is not preterism. When Christ said he was coming back before when he was going to get crucified, when he said he was coming back, and these people that were crucifying were going to be there when he came back in his power and his kingdom, he did. And the disciples, they always say in church, oh, they didn't know any better. They thought he was coming back too. He did. It was imminent. It was imminent. It was imminent. It was imminent. And for all y'all that think we're heading towards tribulation, let me tell you something. There's been many, or a new world order. There's been many new world orders, okay? Egypt was a new world order. Rome was a new world order. Rome was the tribulation new world order with Armageddon. Listen, what happened to Rome? How did it break down? And all these other, how did the whole world become nothing but plagues and almost no people? But they built these Greco-Roman structures with chisels, horses, and wagon wheels made of wood, and they quarried this stuff. Look on the old maps, the Panama and Suez Canal. We did not create them, and we just redug them out after the mud flood when Satan was loose. It was there before. Anyway, I don't know. We're talking about narcissism. I wanted to go over a few things. You know, when you take away narcissistic supply because you go no contact, right? They have to strategize to get you back. So there's different things that they will do. So if the first thing that they will do is they will come back and love bomb you, right? Because that's part of the cycle. If they can't get back with love bombing, then they're going to go into cold empathy, meaning that they're going to be able to understand like cognitive empathy and come back and fake it, okay? But a lot of times, if you keep turning this down, because this is my point is a lot of times we take for the love bombing and we think we're strong. Okay, there's like 5 different other steps to this that you have to get through before you're really strong, that you really defeated the narcissist. So if you're you can't get past the love bomb phase, you got trouble. Next is cold empathy. Then they go with the guilt trip. Okay? And these could be several months in between each time that they come to you with one of these. I've dealt with all of this. Every one of these. And then they hit you with anger. And then they're going to go with persona of transformation, meaning they've changed. They've seen the light. They never change. Okay? And so what happens is I'm going through part of the no contact and the cycle of them hoovering you back, okay, real quick, because I want to give you a little narcissism here. But anyway, if they can't get the old supply back, or they usually will go for new supply because you're already broke up if they can't get you back. But if not, they're going to come back and they're going to try all of these detailed things. This is part of their arsenal to get you back, and they're going to hoover you back. And they're going to do their very best. So if you can't get past the love bomb phase, then you also have to get past the cold empathy, and then wait a couple months and a few months, and then they're going to come at you with the guilt, and then wait a few months, and then they're going to come back at you with the anger, and then you have to wait a couple months, and then they're going to come back with the persona of change, and then they're going to really give it to you then. And part of the cold empathy, man, the second one is like, oh, you're all alone in your house, and you're all by yourself, and I am too. That's how they come at you with cold empathy. They're going to act just like they're going through the same stuff you are, because they're able to, they're very smart when it comes to these kinds of things. They know exactly what you're going through right at the moment, because they know their own cycle, and they know what their own cycle does to people. Chances are there's not even a human in there anymore. A spirit, but not a good one. So they're going to try to suck you all. If they can't get a new supply, they're going to try to suck you back in, and this is the primary supply. Okay, and so they prefer a specific type of supply. It's the primary supply. It's high in admiration and tolerance. They want to get adorned, and they want to get admired and admired and admired and fawned. It's when you just give them admiration. And very submissive. 2 is very, very submissive, dependent, and emotionally dependent on, getting validation through them. And these types are the ones that would be less likely to, they're groomed by their family for the narcissist to be less likely to be challenged to their authority. Okay, so it gives them a lot of self-preservation. If they can get somebody like this, which was all of us at one point in time, we had a lot of these qualities, but we also have a lot of very good qualities. I mean, high in admiration is great if you're in a good relationship. Okay, that's good. But when you're in a relationship where you're getting negative reciprocity, meaning you're not getting the same percentage of energy that you're putting into it, then it's not right. You need to stop it. These are boundaries, y'all. And wealth and beauty, okay, and status. That's always the cream, the icing on the cake, okay? They enhance their social status somehow. And then next would be, ambitious, loyalty with love, and sacrificial to them, and to put their ambitions over your own, and sometimes to some degree, some of these things are fine, but in an abuse cycle with an abuser, it's always going to be bad. Everything they do is bad. Why? Because their vibration can never get above pride. It takes courage to act right, and their vibration never can go past pride. It is shame to pride, shame to pride. I've already went over this. They only get to like a 180 on the vibration scale, which is garbage. They want somebody that's empathic. They want somebody that's empathic because they can be their caretaker, their caregiver, and one that's full of love, man, because they can suck them dry every day and project onto them. You all know some of this. Someone that's has a high tolerance to take the pain and the neglect and the abuse, and to have resilience, to have the ability to fuel back up on their own quickly and to take it. I know y'all are warriors, but you gotta act, you gotta be a warrior in your mind, man, not just take the pain all the time. You gotta, this is all now when you wake up to focus on you, man. No more focusing on anybody out there. It's you. It's all you. Because everything's been a distraction for so long. You need to like hibernate for a little bit. Get over some of those issues from childhood. Meditate. Like I said, sit in that quietness and heal and focus on you, because you need to build you. If they broke you down so damn bad, you probably ain't got $1 in your pocket. I mean, I wouldn't even give money to the church these days. I mean, how do you even know that they're doing anything good with it? You should be your own church and take your own money and help the poor out. At least you know it's going somewhere good. Give it to these churches, man. They be, buying jet airplanes with it, man. Just being honest, man. Just being real right now, okay? And, so they're just a control freak, man. They're out of control. They're self-destructive. And what happens is when they lose, this is the deal. When they lose that super empath, when they lose that primary supply giver, okay, and they can't get them back when they try to hoover you back through all of these measures and weights, and they can't get a new one, okay, then this is what happens. They get very impulsive, right? And out of that impulsivity, they go through self-promotion, aggression, and they end up having bad outcomes over and over and over time. Okay. Then they start, because they don't have somebody to project onto. Okay. They just have secondary supplies. Remember, I told you their whole fuel matrix will fall. Okay. This is textbook. Some of these terms are not textbook. The fuel matrix may not be textbook, but that more of a street term. But what it is then they're going to have public outbursts, okay? They're going to have like public outbursts on their social media. They're going to have public outbursts in public with people in arguments. They're going to have legal issues. They're going to have social outbursts and social relationships and professional relationships, people that they have as secondary, tertiary supply, and people they look up to, people they make money with. They're going to look at them and they're going to walk away from them. Why? Because what puts the mask on is your fuel. They project all their crap onto you. They take your good soul energy and they're wearing you every day. That's why they want to marry an empath. That's why they need a primary supply. That's why they call you the family garbage bin. And that's why when you leave the family, they destroy each other, because they're projecting on each other crap for crap. You were the only one that had good fuel. That's why everybody dumped their load of crap on you, because you're the only one that was worth wearing a mask from. It's your traits. Getting loud, aren't I? Preaching now. It's to the hard of hearing, people. How about that? Let's just think of it like that. I'm not yelling at everybody, but there's a couple of hard of hearing people out there that need to hear this. All right, so what happens is people start to distance themselves. I'm sorry I'm going so long. 28 minutes, jeez. I don't expect more than 3 people to watch this. But people distance themselves. People that they knew, they start to see through them. And they're starting to see the whole, how they act for real. And they're like, oh my God, this person is like an ass. This person's fake. What? Look at this. Look what they did today. It's because you're not fueling them up. They don't have that primary source of supply. And so they're unstable and they're exposing themselves. And God does this. The Lord does this. This is all karma, man. This is all reaping what you sow. You do something long enough bad, it comes back at you, man, and bites your ass. And this is what happens. They get unstable. They expose themselves. This is what always happens, right? Their private becomes public, man. Publicly known, and they out themselves because they can't handle it. Because they have no fuel. And Their manipulations are seen by everybody around them. Remember, I told you, when they lose the super empath, when they lose the primary supply, when they lose that grade A supply, what happens is they don't have the traits of that primary supply giver anymore. And all the ones they stole from people in the past, they're not liquid on them anymore because they have nobody to project onto. All they have is their garbage fuel. And the garbage fuel has got to get thrown off of them for them to look good. And if they have nobody to throw it off onto, they start throwing it off on the secondary, tertiary supply, and they walk away from them. Nobody's going to hang out with an asshole, and the secondary and tertiary supply, they're not even connected to them. They're not trauma bonded. We are. They don't love bomb those types. They just have flings with them. So they end up, then they have a narcissist injury. This is where it happens, okay? And this is where the narcissist will try to make changes in their life. Sometimes they may be legit for a minute. Probably not, because they're pieces of shit. We all know that. And so there's a cycle that they talk about, and it's just to deal with somebody who's just an avoidant type, but it's very similar to a narcissist. And what they do is they will really want love, okay, but it's in an idyllic state. And it's in an idyllic state, and it's in a fantasy world. And that's because that is their way of them sabotaging it for themselves all the time. And whether they know this or not. So they want love, then they get you. Then they have a honeymoon phase, and then that's where they idolize you. Okay, and then that things start to go downhill, and that's where you're starting to get, they get worried. Okay, and now you're not perfect. You see, this is where they self-sabotage, because they have to have you as an idol, which is meaning that you're perfect. You're the perfect love mate. And they're so far from it, I don't know. But then, so this is where they have self-sabotage built into their own relationships. That's why every relationship ends the same, and you should never worry about how the next empath or the next source of supply is it gonna be better for them? Hell no. It's gonna be worse, because they're older, they're crappier, they're more tired, and they don't want to wear the mask, and they're just gotten more devious. Every relationship teaches them how to be more demonic, man. So then they devalue. Then they think about leaving. Then they do leave, okay? And then they discard you, right? And then there's separation. And then they jump to somebody else. This is the same thing. It's like when they're alone, they want to act like they're independent, right? But they're always in a relationship. They're really codependent because they're absolutely always in a relationship. They can't be alone for a second. But they act like they're independent, you see? They act like they're an alpha, okay? But they're really a zeta, okay? Because they can never be alone, but they just act like it. Everything they do is fake. But it's control, remember? So then they get with another source of supply, and then they drain them, and then they're getting lonely and depression because they drain the hell out of them, and it's not fun anymore. And then the whole cycle repeats. And it's very similar for us. A lot of times we're taught to, after the honeymoon phase, that when things start going downhill and they're starting to worry because they're getting bored, then we see that, and a lot of times we try to attach to them harder, grab onto them tighter. Then they want to run quicker. And then, and then instead of like, and then instead of leaving them alone, we, generally speaking, before we knew about this, we would not want to leave them alone. And, so leave them alone. I mean, we don't want them back anyway. But that's kind of how some of the cycle works, where it's kind of like they pick certain types. But I think that's all for today. Anyway, But all what I said is true. And if you check out my other channel, I don't have much up there, but I have a lot of little clues, and then you could search out for yourself. I try to put stuff up there, but I've been lazy about that. I can't do everything. I got a lot of stuff going on. But listen, man, build yourself up to be the best person that you can be now, man. I mean, how many years left do you have in your life? Work hard now, every day, as hard as you can. Give it your all. And be the best person you can be, man. And work hard to accumulate wealth for you and your children, man. And take care of your things. Look good. Do your best to look good every day. Wake up and make your bed, man. Make it nice every day so you have a nice bed to get into when you come home at night. That's all I got, man. You know, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I don't expect too many people to like it. Probably lose a bunch of subs. Anyway, I love y'all. Peace. We out.